As a lover of Greek myth and fantasy, movies that strip those elements in favor of purely human stories more rooted in history are a mixed bag with me. In Umberto Pasolini's The Return, a well-crafted, beautifully acted, but somewhat muted adaptation of Homer's epic poem, The Odyssey, there are no sirens or cyclopses, no vast adventures at sea. The loss of the fantastical isn't automatically a bad thing. I mean, just look at Troy, one of my favorites. But especially when you've got the reunion of Ralph Fiennes and Juliette Binoche as long-lost lovers Odysseus and Penelope. But it's also fair to say that this story of a war-ravaged husband's return home to claim his kingdom is missing some passion, excitement, and modern relevance. Fortunately, the film does have Fiennes and Binoche. And let's just say it, Fiennes is absolutely ripped in this. Does he look like this underneath those papal gowns in Conclave? If the others knew, they'd make him Pope on the spot. Fiennes is lean and muscular but battle-scarred in The Return, which picks up after Odysseus has washed up on the shores of Ithaca, naked and battered. Years following the Trojan War, most believe he was either killed on the battlefield or lost at sea. Some rumors say he is living on an island with another woman, perhaps Pasolini's nod to the Princess Nausicaa, a character excluded from this very focused adaptation. Fiennes' Odysseus is a man who has been torn apart by war, both the things he saw and the things he did. He talks solemnly about the men he's lost, his Trojan horse scheme that got his men inside Troy's gates, and burning the city to ash only to wash it away with rivers of blood. Rather than reveal his true identity as the king of Ithaca, Odysseus poses as a poor beggar and sees the devastation done to his home in his absence. Similar to Fiennes, Binoche's performance as Penelope is largely internal, quiet, and contemplative. While her husband watches from the shadows, Penelope is forced to contend with scores of dangerous suitors looking to take advantage of her. They threaten the life of her son, Telemachus, played by Charlie Plummer, who they see as a threat to their ambitions. But keeping them at bay has only heightened the risk. The men grow agitated, destroying not only Odysseus' home, but bullying everyone in their wake. While she has no proof he's alive, Penelope does what she can to buy time for Odysseus, continually moving the goalposts for when she will select a new husband. There's a missed opportunity to present a more contemporary take on Penelope, who in the most traditional stories is admired for her virtue by staying loyal and pure in the hope of Odysseus' return. But rumors persist that she is sneaking away at night and entertaining the men, with her son calling her whore out of frustration and anger. Penelope is a character that many old-fashioned ideas about womanhood are attached to, and The Return stays pretty faithful to the text when a rethink about her character might have done the film some good. Fiennes and Binoche aren't called upon to carry a lot of dialogue. Their performances are physical, seen in a wariness edged into their faces and carried on their haunched shoulders. But both actors are tremendous, but it isn't enough to cover for the severe lack of tension and energy, to say nothing of mediocre performances by the supporting cast. Things pick up when Odysseus finally reveals himself, and The Return gets surprisingly brutal as the arrows start flying in defense of the woman he loves. But the action confined to a single room, Pasolini isn't given the best scenario to show what he can do when capturing violence. With blood still staining the floors, The Return reclaims its meditative stance as Penelope mourns the violence that has infected her home and inspired her husband and son. It's an appropriately dignified conclusion for Pasolini's handsome drama, but you'll be forgiven for wishing maybe just one Cyclops might have been fun too. Bleecker Street opens The Return in theaters on December 6th, and it gets a 3 out of 5. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.